Okay, for part D of the problem, it says, give the coordinates of the image with the, compare the coordinates of the image with the pre-image. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you have your pre-image, and then you have your image. Okay, so remember, we had this guy, this triangle down here. This is called, let's see, 1, 2, 3, the third quadrant. You don't need to know that, but that's what it is. This triangle is the pre-image because it happened before. Pre means before I moved over here. So we rotated it in 90 degrees. That means it went in each point was moved 90 degrees clockwise. So this point was moved there, this point was moved to there, and that point was moved to there, 90 degrees each. So that's why we only move one quadrant. See? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. Okay. So compare the coordinates of the image with the pre-image. That means you have these points that are your answers, and they want you to compare them. Remember, this is the answer for part A. These are the answers for part C. And they want you to compare them. Well, let me write down the numbers. And when they say compare them, they just mean say something that you notice about them. Is there anything that they have in common? What is it that you notice? Let's see. L -3, 0, -2, 5. Okay, so these were the numbers. These were the numbers. -4, 0 for Z. Let me write down the letters too. Let's see, that's J, that's L, that's L prime, J prime, and Z prime. Okay, there's the letters. J, L, Z, L prime, Z prime, J prime, and the corresponding coordinates. Okay, for Z, Z is right here. Its coordinates was -4, 0. It moved 90 degrees and it moved over here to 0, 4. Okay, L was right here. It was at 0, -3. 0, -3, and it moved 90 degrees and it moved to there, to the point -3, 0. J was right here, and it moved 90 degrees to that point. So it started with coordinates of -5, -2, right there, moved over here, and the coordinates right there were -2, 5. So compare the coordinates. Okay, what can we say about them? Well, we see that we have a -1 and a 0 here. Over here we have a 0 and a 4. A 0 and -3 here, then a -3, 0. -5, -2, -2, -5. So when we're comparing them, what we can say is that, you know, all the first numbers kind of became all the second numbers, except that the negatives became positive and the 0 stayed as a 0. And those would be the x values. The y values, the same thing. The y values kind of became, well, they did become the x values. They stayed negative. -3 stayed negative, -2 stayed negative. So when you compare them, all you can say, well, what you can say is that the x and y values switched places. You can say something like that. The x and y values switched places. And then you could also mention something about the y's became positive, the y values became positive. It went from -4 to +4. -5 became a +5. Okay? So just say something like that.